Everyone. My name is James Fitzgerald, and today I will be presenting to you my paper about establishing complex arbitrary relations. The abstract for this paper today is actually about the peak transformation module. The peak transformation module is curriculum designed to develop the relational repertoire of individuals with and without developmental disabilities. The purpose of the current investigation was to demonstrate the efficacy of a program from the peak T module. In this case, I used program 13V in establishing simple or complex arbitrary relations, which this was a level 3 from the PEAK-T, in a child with a disability. Entailment probes across each of the participants, which was one singular participant, showed derived mutual or combinatorial entailment across 5 relational stimulus classes, and the transformation of stimulus functions in a novel context was also demonstrated. The results are discussed consistent with the relational frame theory account of human language and cognition. The subject for my study today was one individual male child who was employed in the study. The child attended a mainstream pre-kindergarten classroom in the greater Chicago area of Illinois. The child in this study was age 5, and the participant only participated in the current study after receiving written informed consent granted by their parents. They were joined by approximately 15 additional students in the classroom, which was 5 days a week. Subject lived with their family at home, consisting of both parents, one brother, which was a twin, normally functioning, and 2 twin sisters, aged 2. The child had a primary diagnosis of ASD, formerly, and had no peak programming skills implemented. However, experience with the ABLES programs had been established in the past. Possible benefits to the child from this study included just the acquisition of additional skills. However, this study was designed to learn more about the application of peak programming as related to relational frame theory. Participation in this study involved no cost to the child, and there was no monetary or other reimbursement paid for participating in this study, as the participation in the study was voluntary. Okay, so the materials that I used for this study actually can be seen in the picture on the side of the slideshow there. The reinforcement that I used was novel. Most of this included, but not limited to, iPad, watching videos on the therapist's phone, iPad, computer, access to board games, Legos, books, basically anything that was available as reinforcement in the classroom that we used. Watching video was pretty much chosen every single time. That's very, very motivating to the subject, and they were watched via a streaming application on the practitioner's phone after the completion of the tasks. The materials used in the differential responding portion of the experiment included flashcards with arbitrary stimuli, which were hand-drawn on them. Those can be seen on the pictures. They're represented by either the box hand-colored in, 2 squiggles in parallel, a cursive N with an arrow on it, and another that's very similar to an electrical coil. A small box was used to house the material stimuli during the study implementation. That can be seen at the top. And the other stimuli, tactile stimuli, can be seen underneath the cards to which they actually correspond, which was a roll of tape, a flashlight, a screwdriver, and a comb. All experimental trials were conducted individually with the participants seated at a table in an unused classroom adjacent to the regularly occupied classroom. The practitioner was seated at the opposite side of the table during the duration of the treatment trials. During the treatment training phase, the participant was taught a series of 2 interrelated conditional discriminations using non-typical shapes which were drawn by the practitioner preceding all experimentation. I did use alphanumeric figures to label each of the stimuli, but these were never shown to the participants themselves. That was only for my own documenting purposes. During the training trials, all the distinct tactile stimuli varied. As you can see, written stimuli were all black and colored on the same white paper flashcards, approximately 3 by 5 inches. And I also used verbal stimuli, which were PEP, BEV, HES, and WEG. These were paired with the tactile and visual stimulated, all associated. All the A stimuli were tactile, B stimuli were the arbitrary visuals, C were the arbitrary verbals, and stimuli Y used the verbal stimuli C in a sentence. Z was representing the same tactile stimuli as stimuli A, however, remained unseen when chosen from the box, hence the tactile serving that portion of the experimentation.
Did you start it all over?
In this part, the experiment
No.
Good looking.
for the same child,
For me.
same table, lasts approximately 8 minutes long, but no longer than 12. This is the final phase that you're watching now.
Good, nice
It's
job.
like the brown
A shorter
dominoes that they put it up on their side.
Due to the lack of training
Why
within
did
this.
you come up with that?
Find the same.
La la la.
Nice job.
This is demonstrating 13B, by the way.
Officially chocolate.
Find the same.
La la la.
Good.
As you can see out of frame, I'm actually holding up the matching stimuli for that.
Find the same. Good job.
Haha. We'll be back in a day.
See 10 sequential discrete trial training procedures.
Find the same.
Base.
Nice. Find the same. Find the same.
Yes, this one.
Find the same.
How many more are left?
2 more.
Ooh.
Find the same. Good. 1 more. Find the same. Good job, dude.
James, what
Looking
is
good.
this stretch for?
Let's sit all the way down. We gotta finish this
So that was
first,
the
then we can
training
talk.
for the A to B stimuli, which actually demonstrated a perfect score, 10 out of 10 on that.
We're gonna do a video after. First, we have to work.
The last?
There we go. Nice hands. I like it. Okay.
I want to do the missing thingy.
There. Nice looking. We gotta finish first. What is this called?
Next one is B to C.
Good. Nice job.
B being the material stimuli, and
is this
C
called?
being the verbal response.
Nice job, dude.
You did a really awesome job of responding,
this called?
especially with such a short amount of trials.
Nice. What is this called? Nice job, my man. What is this called? Oh my goodness. What is this called? Good. Nice job. 4 more. What is this called?
Ben
Good job, man. What is this called?
has
Good. 2 more. What is this called?
web.
Nice job. What is this called?
Pep.
You got it, man. All right. Ready? Nice hands. We're almost done. We're going to watch our video after our next step, okay? This is your favorite
Got
part.
it. It's actually on our third phase, which is the tactile stimuli phase, Y to C.
Nice job. Beautiful hands right there.
Y being the
All right.
sentence I used,
One
and
second.
C being the tactile stimuli, so he is going
All
to
right.
pick the correct stimuli out of the box without looking.
Beth looked for the WEG. Find me that item without looking in the box.
I don't need the picture.
Good.
Hey,
Good. Hands down.
why did you say leg?
Please find me a Hez.
That's a screwdriver.
Good. We got 8 more.
Ah!
Actually make the
I really need a Bev.
generalization in between
Why
different
is that
names towards.
I need a bed?
Oops, I got it. Good job. We can sit all the way down.
How is that metal and it cannot break?
Sarah bought a pep from the store.
And it's a combo. Voila!
Uh,
How many more left?
please find me a Hez. Good. We have 5 more. Then videos. It's all you. Beth looked for the WEG.
He did really, really well with this. As I explained in my paper, he actually did not surprisingly well, but
I really need a
better than
Bev.
anticipated, especially in the short amount of time that we did work with it and the trials that we did. All were recorded. It was the day before this
3 more.
one that actually did show the improvement from baseline.
Please find me a Hez. 2 more. And then a video. Right. Sarah bought a pep from the store. Good job. Thank you, sir. All right, last one. We got this. Ready? You ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Beth looked for the WEG. Cool. Nice job. We're all done. Let's watch a video.
Of my dominoes that I made earlier.
All right, so as you can see, that was a 100% successful trial across the board. Every single phase, the training phases A to B, B to C, were all successful, 100%, as well as the actual test phase. He got 10 out of 10 correct. So as you can see above now, or as I should say in front of you, this will be the results for it. So as you can see, the results of the current investigation are shown in the figure. PT was conducted with the subject who began mastering the phases of the program in session 3 by experimentation. As you can see, that's when everything actually increased all the way up. By the end of the training phases, and the participant had mastered all aspects of the complex transformation, including the tactile qualities. Participant in this study showed an increasing trend over each training, which resulted in the criterion for mastery. Baseline trials show that the subject achieved the lowest score in the Y to Z test phase as compared to the opposing training phases. So by the end of the experiment, all training and test phases scored 10 points or 100% on each of the trials. And now for a little bit of discussion. So the results reported in the current study support the effectiveness of the peak transformation module and the increasing target verbal operant and complex transformation skills. Ideally, the study at hand would have had more trials and time to complete and solidify the evidence that the programming was indeed fluent. So although the learner demonstrated the arbitrary stimuli program was successful, it cannot be scientifically shown based on only one successful trial at the end of this time. The main reason that this study was ran over such a brief time span is not only due to practitioner school deadlines, but parental consent was needed to conduct the study. That took about 5 days because I had to go through my supervisor, who I didn't see and did not have contact with over that course of the time. But each session was also ran over the course of 4 sessions, each with 1 day separating them. So I saw participant 1 day, not the next, participant 1 day, not the next. So if the sessions were conducted more frequently, more trials would have probably been ran, probably about double as many trials in the time allotted, therefore leading to not only more data to analyze, but I believe would have been actually shown a faster rate of acquisition because he did have a gap in between our training phases. The participant in the study also proved to be a lot faster at acquiring the skill than I expected. I actually thought it was going to be really difficult, especially given the 4 days. I was prepared to just actually make a presentation and a paper about an unsuccessful trial, how we did, with which I did expect to see some sort of increase in responding, however, not the fluency that we did. So moving on to the next peak programming skill, which would be 13W, would be the next step for him. However, I don't think it will be necessary with this participant just because I personally am not in charge of his programming, and he is actually engaged in the ABLES-R programming right now, and that's how most of his history has been, and the ABA company that I work with uses. So that has proven to show increasing verbal, educational, tactile, and behavioral skills across the board. So due to the success in that, they will be continuing with that program. But it definitely was interesting to explore different programming with kiddos that I normally don't get to see this with. So it was cool to implement a totally new skill. It was new to me. It was new to him. It was a great learning experience. So because the practitioner in the study, because I don't hold any authority in the child's current or future programming at this rate, his normal assessments will continue. However, I would be interested in possibly doing more peak trials in the future, just to kind of broaden my horizons and to bring a new light onto his programming as well, because honestly, he thought it was not only pretty silly, but pretty interesting as well, just because it was something way out of bounds from what he's used to doing. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon. Thank you.